All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something huge today and maybe even a little controversial. We're talking about the death of a 600-year-old institution. Yep, the resume.
So here's the big claim we're going to unpack. Get this. A prediction that by 2026, which, is right around the corner, the resume, the CV, is going to be completely obsolete. Dead.
And I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? I mean, this thing has been around for literally hundreds of years. It's been the bedrock of how we get jobs forever. So what on earth could be powerful enough to just end it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
Okay, so to really get why it's falling apart, we first have to look back. We need to understand its long life and what it was actually for all these years.
Okay, so check this out. It all started way back in 1482. Leonardo da Vinci basically writes the first one, and it's all about what he can do. Fast forward to the 1950s, and it's this formal, typed-up thing that signals you're a professional. But then, things get weird. By 2015, you're not writing it for a person anymore. You're writing it for a machine, an applicant tracking system, just stuffing it with keywords. And then, boom, 2023. GPT hits the scene, and suddenly anyone can have a perfect resume. That's the first real crack in the foundation, leading us to this prediction. The end in 2026.
So, what was it about 2023 that really set this whole thing in motion? This is the absolute core of the argument, and it's not some far-off future thing. It's happening right now.
Okay, you got to remember this term, differentiation collapse. It's the whole ballgame. Basically, it means the resume has lost its superpower, which was to tell candidates apart. Think about it. If everyone can just ask an AI to write a perfect keyword-stuffed resume, then how do you tell who's actually good? The resume becomes meaningless noise. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out. The prediction is that by 2026, 90%, 90, of resumes will be written by AI. So if you're a recruiter, how can you trust anything you're reading? You can't. The whole signal is just gone. It's broken.
And this flood of identical, perfect-sounding applications, it has a name. It's called the gray goo. It's just this massive pile of resumes where everyone looks like the perfect candidate, and it becomes impossible for the truly talented people to actually shine through. They just get lost in the goo.
This really shows how the game has completely changed. Back in the day, it was simple, right? A person wrote a resume to show their skills to another person, human to human. But now it's a candidate's AI writing a document that's designed to be read and scored by a recruiter's AI. The humans aren't even really in the conversation anymore.
There's this fantastic analogy for this. It's like nuclear deterrence. If everyone has the same ultimate weapon, well, then the weapon is useless, isn't it? That's what's happening with resumes. Everyone has access to the perfect AI resume, so it gives no one an edge. The whole system just gets stuck. Okay, so if the old way is broken, if just claiming you can do something on a piece of paper doesn't work anymore, then what's next? And honestly, this is where things get really interesting. We're about to see what the future of finding talent actually looks like. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. The old way of hiring was pure Moneyball. You're just looking at stats on a sheet of paper, the resume. But the new way, it's more like that hockey movie, Miracle. Remember? The coach wasn't just picking the star players with the best stats, he was picking the right players who would work together. It's a huge shift from looking at keywords to looking for chemistry and actual fit. And that really is the bottom line here. The days of just saying, "Trust me, I can do this," on a piece of paper, they're over. Done. That trust is completely gone. Employers don't want claims anymore. They want proof. So what does proof actually look like in practice? Well, we're seeing this rise of what are called new hiring primitives. Fancy term, but it just means new ways to hire that are all about showing, not telling. We're talking about things like scenario tests, giving people real tasks to do, running them through simulations, stuff that forces you to prove you have the skills you say you have. Okay, let's wrap our heads around this. What does a world without resumes actually look like? What does it mean for finding a job or for finding talent? It's a massive change in what we even consider valuable. And this is maybe the most important takeaway. The resume isn't dying because we don't care about finding good people anymore. Not at all. It's dying because it's stopped telling the truth. The document itself is broken. You can't trust it anymore. So what we're seeing is this big shift. Hiring is moving from being a transaction, just sifting through piles of paper, to being about relationships. It's about scouting for talent, about understanding who people are, and seeing what they can actually create and do.
And you know what the crazy irony in all this is? In a world that's getting flooded with AI tools, the value of just processing text automatically is dropping like a rock. So what becomes super valuable? Real human judgment. The ability for a person to look past the data and actually see the potential in another person. So I'll leave you with this question. If your resume no longer tells your story, what does? Because in this new world, your story isn't going to be a list of bullet points. It's going to be your work, your projects, your proven skills. So really think about it. If your resume vanished today, how would you prove to the world what you're truly capable of?